Anyway, so yeah. I'm just gonna go down the list, show all the previews, and then go to the first 9. Or the first... again, the only 9. Oh, that's the one I'm not playing, because I think the IA might go after me for that one. But yeah, like I said, I'll play it on a local recording and then I'll give this a better feedback, just like on a personal level, like outside stream, where I can't be yelled at for copyright. Anyway. I think, yeah, I did play that one a while back. I don't know if it was released or not. Gorgetech, rather. There's a lot of tech in that notation. That is the classics of DDR. So, let's get into it. We'll just pull up the notes I have real quick. I need to check out what kind of feedback that I'm giving for each one. So this is by Silver, and they requested he requested light/general feedback, so let's take a look, see what we got. Also, I'm going to be playing everything on an M mod, just in case. There's like scroll gimmicks that were intended. So I would like to play the charts as they're intended. That is a difficulty. Oh, no, there's a density spike. Like that one vertical pixel. Oh, okay, I see. It's probably messing with the density graph. This is cute. What is this density spike? Those are some really cool gimmicks. Okay, so unsure about 9, I guess, first off. It might be a 10. Like, density-wise, it's probably like a 9, but the movement required might push it up to a 10, and like, there's a good amount of bracketing as well. Hey, Talkion. Glad you can make it. But yeah, let's go into practice mode real quick. So, okay. Yeah, this is a warp. So these are all fakes. I see. Yeah, all fakes, all fakes. I really liked a lot of these ideas. I think just some things to watch out for, and this definitely was more prevalent in the back third or so. The bracketing was getting like kind of... I think there were a few double steps here and there near the end. Not only that, some of the jumps were kind of... they felt like kind of weird. Like this one, for example, you bracket into the left up on the right side, and then right, and then I think this isn't just like specific to double thing, but just having a jump end with the holds of like other taps like that. Yeah, it does look like it's ending on the same spot that those taps are. So I'm not sure if those are like required, like intended to be hands, or it just seems a little ambiguous to parse, I guess. It looks like it might be intended as a left foot bracket, so like a bracket, tap, and then you left down bracket into here, and then go to the next spot. That's what would make the most sense to me. This one's probably fine, because it's like a one hold into the taps, if that makes sense. These jumps are fun, I like these. Let's see. Yeah, just overall, I think I mentioned like there's a few probably unintended double steps like here. I assume, anyway, this is a bracket. I don't think there was tech notation for this chart overall, so like, I'm just saying, you know, center, bracket on the up left, hold the up, down, down. You're still here on the up, down. Your last step was the right foot, but then the next step is a gallop starting with the right foot, so it's like a double step, down, down, to right up. So those kinds of things I think are good for watching out for in terms of just making sure parity isn't broken, or like you're not doing unintended double stepping. There might be a few others, but that's just like the general gist of what I saw that can be a little bit improved. Yeah, like I said, I like a lot of the ideas for sure in this chart. All the like warping and stutters give it a lot of personality, I think. Okay. Yeah, just nothing, not too much more that I would want to say that I haven't already covered. Yeah. I think it's probably a good summary of what I would want to say about it. Again, thank you very much for the submission. And I hope to see you in future periods. I might play a 10 outside of the pack real quick. Just to warm up for the harder stuff, because outside of that chart, it's nothing but 11s and above after that. Let's see if I can get some points. Actually, no. I'm just gonna chill with whatever. It's probably good for stream. Yep. Exactly that. Actually, hold on. Let me... Wanted to get rid of the OBS preview to maybe help out with any potential lag. Actually, a really good white count. It's okay. I already have it quadded. I did just have to say something, though. Alright, well, back to business. What's the next thing I got? Oh boy. I'm worried about my throat, actually, if I'm going to be talking this much throughout the whole stream. I think I'm just going in, like, alphabetical order. Within the same difficulty. So... Hey, kitty. Yes, water good. Oh, it took me a second, like, wait, is that number a reference to something? No, it's just literally double 1311. Hell yeah. Also, hey Mang, and hey CERiNG, if you're there. I can wait to play it if they need a second, actually. probably good. Also, yeah, mod. Let me see the tech on this actually. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Oops.
Once again.
Okay, that was me. Okay. That's crazy. Okay. So, heavy slashing depth, I think, was the request for this one. It was really fun. I'm trying to think of that one part that I got tripped up on. I'm pretty sure it was just me. But I want to double check. Ha, ha. Funny joke. I think it was after the slowdown. It's like... Yeah, let me just play this whole part again, actually, after the slowdown.
Once again.
No, it might have been right before the slowdown, actually. This part, maybe, I don't know. You know what, I'm just gonna play the whole thing again. Let's do that. Also, hey Hunter. Hey, we'll see how I'm feeling. strike that rhythm again.
Once again.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a misread. The first playthrough. Okay. Yeah, this shirt's really good. Like, I know you requested like heavy in-depth feedback, but there's not too much I can say other than like, in terms of like a parody, not parody, facing direction kind of balance thing. This is something I see people new to charting double do all the time, like literally all the time. I just need to find an example of it. Because I did notice this like throughout the chart. I'm like actually impressed at like how complex the turning is and like how well it flows. There's like a fair amount of like stretching that more so that I'm used to than typical double charts, but that's not like a bad thing. But okay, speaking of stretching, this specific spacing right here with player 1 left, player 2 down, I see people do that all the time, and I'm pretty sure that they think that it's not a big distance to cover because like there's only a 3-column difference, right? When in reality, so you're hitting this this arrow and this arrow, so that's the distance you're covering. It's the same thing from facing right to facing left if you're doing this, player 1 down, player 2 up. But if you look on just like the target row right now, that's a 5-column difference. So I think because of that, most people who are new to charting double avoid specifically the left player down and right player up because they probably think that it's a huge distance to cover and it's like really stretchy. Whereas this up and this down don't look as bad, but it's literally the same thing except you're facing the other way. Because I don't think I saw like a single instance of when I needed to do left player down, right player up. That's like the big thing, I think, that I always want to point out when like reviewing double charts. If that's like an issue that I'm seeing in terms of like kind of breaking the balance like that. Like you can keep that, but also like just keep in mind that if you're gonna do that, the other way around, 1 player down, 2 player up, is the same thing and you're facing the other way. And like, you can utilize that too. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it from me. Like, I don't know if there's too much else that I can think of. There was like 1 30-second burst near the end that was kind of mean, but like, whatever. Probably skill issue on my part. Yeah, this burst like from like the slow-moving burst. It's not like bad, it's just hard to hit. Also, I'd probably still have to warm up more. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, I was more so saying, like, just the utilization of that one, not so much how fast it happened, in terms of, like, pattern, like, recognition, parsing, or how patterns look visually, if you know what I mean. Yeah, path transitions can be, like, a weird thing to get down, or, like, utilizing both at once. But yeah, super solid, very fun chart. Thank you very much for submitting. Both on peeling down. Yeah, that's a good question. Hey, let me go back into that one more time. I wish you can just edit in practice mode, but I understand why you can't, and it's probably a good thing. Let's see. Yeah, it would probably be harder if it was just like all on one, like all on the center. I might have more than, I'm not sure. I'm trying to think if I have, like, in terms of trying to hit it, if I have more of an issue getting my right foot from that last 30 seconds to the up arrow, because that's a bigger distance to cover than one player right to one player down in a 30-second, not 30-second, in a 16th span. Whereas, like, this to this in 3 30-second span is probably harder. It's probably the right foot going to up that's harder to do. Maybe if this up arrow was instead a right arrow, that might be better. Because yeah, that's like, you have to kind of twitch your body to there in terms of like how much you have to move. If it was just the right arrow, then it would be like you kind of shimmy over. That is my thoughts on that particular verse. Okay, so let's see. So next up we got CYCLONE by Telp. I don't know what to expect for this one. Also, yeah, no problem. Thanks for submitting and hanging out in stream. Okay. I think there was a heavy in depth. Request for feedback. Oh boy. This is how I'm feeling after 211s, and I'm fearing the rest of the stream. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I overall really liked the slow building up of iterations in terms of how much you had to move. Like that's a really good theme to have. Because like I think the song is a bit repetitive. It's a good song, but like it might be hard to do something with it for 2 minutes. Yeah, there are excuse me. No, I don't want to exit this game. There are 2 things I found. I did find what I'm pretty sure are 2 instances of unintended double steps near the beginning. Like I thought at first after the second one that it may have been intentional, but I don't know. Because like the same kind of sound happened later on in the song, and there wasn't a double step there. Yeah, this is what I was talking about right here. After this hold, you're holding this with your left foot, coming out of left, right, up, hit down with your right foot, and then you kind of have to reset with your right foot going back, right, left, up. Like, that's not a huge deal if you want to maybe, I don't know, extend the hold to the next quarter note. And maybe what could work is, like, you can keep the down arrow there at that point if you're extending the hold to this. But also, like, to go with that, like, vocal sample and accent it, maybe you can, like, throw a crossover in there. Like, obviously this isn't going to be the chart that I'm playing, but, like, instead of the down, you can have a left arrow, right side tap, as a crossover, and then go back to, you know, the next phrase. So, like, something like that. That's what I had in mind in terms of just, like, touching up that part. And then I think a little bit after this, it happens again somewhere on the left side. No, okay, it's on the right side again. Yeah, right here. Yeah, that's why I thought it was intentional at first, because, like, it happened twice in a row with that, like, go sample. But I don't think it is. Because, like, that sample happens later on in the song. They're like, well, I guess it's doing something completely different. But, you know what I mean. Let me play through this one more time. See how just, like, the iterative patterning feels overall. turns. Oops. I cannot talk while playing. I think there is something near the beginning that I would personally do differently in terms of just keeping things consistent. Let me show you what I mean by that. There's one specific, like, 8-measure stretch. I think this whole part. Let me see here real quick. Yeah, this whole part. So like, we have quarter note hold, going with that like kind of low humming drone bass, like. And I think I was expecting the same thing in the next 4 measures, but it just kind of did its own thing instead. I'm like, it might have been good to do it on the left side as well, instead of like making the left side do something different, if that makes sense. Okay, so other than that, yeah, I like how the movement and turning difficulty just kept ramping up, especially near the end. Like, where is it? I think this whole part is really cool. That might be my favorite part of the chart. Like the constant ramp up in that whole verse was so good. It was really satisfying. Other than that, I think that's all I got for this one. Hopefully that feedback helps. And as always, thanks a bunch for submitting. Really appreciate it. Okay, so the next 11 is Love Me. Music's done to say something. Okay. I'm really interested in this one, specifically because as far as I know, Exschwasion has not made any doubles turrets, like directly. I know Mojo's made remixes of single turrets by him. Like we had Slotta, like in ITL 2024, which was originally an Exschwasion single chart, and then Mojo remixed it for double. So anyway, yeah, let's take a look at this one. Very, very interested. was really fun. I enjoyed that. Just trying to think of like what to say about it. Because like more or less it was really consistent. This actually just might be a me thing, but like, I don't know, I tend to try and avoid stretches if it's not like the core tech, or like one of the core tech. But like, again, it's not a bad thing. Like, I'm just noticing, I think, again, another thing that I might be noticing of people that are new to charting now is that they're like okay with doing stretches, like both of one, what is it? Both of the same column on each side as a transition. Like that's not a bad thing, but I don't know. It's something I usually avoid in transitions if it's not like a core element of the chart. But like also, it does it a lot here in terms of like the double down specifically. I saw that a lot, so, and it was fun. Yeah, it just makes you move more. Like, it's not a bad thing at all. I think there were a few foot switches. Like, the foot switches, the whole chart flowed, first of all. I just want to put that out there. Like, there was no double stepping or anything that felt weird. I think there were like maybe one or two foot switches that were in the middle of a pan transition that felt like they were a little more strenuous than the other ones, and I'm trying to remember which ones they were. Let me see. I mean, maybe that's just like the new meta for charting double, is like small, stretchy patterns as like the norm. I'd be okay with it. My like, what, 5'4", 5'5" ass, I'd be okay with it. I don't care. I love stretch patterns. Was it this foot switch? No, that one felt okay. Maybe it's this one. This one, like, again, it's fine, it flows. I guess it's just kind of, it felt like more strenuous than the other ones. Maybe? Yeah, let me just play it through. Yeah, I'm like, I know you asked for like in-depth, but I'm having a hard time really trying to say stuff without being like overly nitpicky about it. It is like a personal thing. Because like the chart's just good. I'm kind of curious, Exschwasion, if you're in the chat, if you've ever played double? But yeah, I guess aside from like the stuff that I was talking about, I think like, oh yeah, okay, that is understandable. But it's still like pretty good experience, I would say. But yeah, I think like just your experience in charting single and really just the general flow of how those charts are for your charts in general. Like it's really making the double charts thing, or making it shine. Like, okay, double charts, there's one so far as I know. But yeah, I don't know. I won't be on this too long, but there's not too much I can really say. I feel that it's just good. Yeah, I don't know if you were hearing like the past like 5-10 minutes of what I was talking about, but that's like the extent of the feedback I feel like I can give, even though it's supposed to be heavy and in-depth. Yeah, again, thanks so much for submitting, and I hope to see you in future submission periods. I'm having a blast so far. So the next one is Sakura. Classics of DAR. Okay. That's for sure the most tiring 11 I've played so far. I didn't request feedback for this one, so I just could like make it brief in terms of just it was really tiring because of how much it moved. That's like probably the extent of what I could say without like starting to dive into any kind of feedback talk. I enjoyed it though. It's just hard. I am a sucker for charts that make you move a lot. Okay. Anyway. So we got Why Do You Love It next? I should have done that. That was spicy. Okay. Man, yeah, that was really good. I don't know if there's too much I could say about it. I think, like, maybe just a me thing. I was talking to Mojo about one of your earlier charts that I played on double attack. I'm trying to remember which one it was. But, like, I kept on misreading something as a bracket, and it just felt so bad until I realized it was supposed to be either like a jump or a foot switch that I was missing. And like I think for the first like iteration of what is it? Let's just go and practice now. Like for the first iteration of these jumps, I'm like, oh, what is this? But no, I think they're just like switch jumps, if you want to call them that. Like just, you start this on the right foot, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just right, and then switch into a jump, and then same thing with the left, switch into a jump. I don't think it was an ITL. Like specifically the double chart, I don't know if the song was an ITL, I forget, but the double chart definitely wasn't. Okay. Yeah, I think just jumps is easier, because like, this is a little bit strenuous to do. Like, it's doable, but it's certainly more uncomfortable than if it was like up here, for example. Just because feet are facing away from the center. That's how I gauge how comfortable brackets are. On double, anyway. Not that like uncomfy brackets are inherently a bad thing, but I've certainly done my fair share recently. Man, I'm just trying to think of what I can say about this, actually. Because like I don't know, it all felt really good. I can just play it again. See if I could think of anything off the top of my head afterward. Turns. Yeah, those are good. Okay, so let's go back into practice mode. I do have a couple of things that I thought of. Let me just try and find it. Yeah, like I said, all of the 180s, like those are all really good. Like they're intimidating, but they flow just fine, and like they don't play as hard as they look, in my opinion. So I guess these jumps, like, I know you were talking about earlier, where it's not so much ambiguous as it is like a choose your own adventure thing, where you could either bracket this or jump it. Either one works. I'm just wondering what the like intent was, I guess. Like, this one can be either jumped or bracketed. This one I think has to be jumped. If you bracket it, then it gets weird. This one's fine to bracket, and so on and so on. I think this one is weird to bracket just because the hold is on the heel and not the toe. But yeah. What else? Those jumps were fun. I liked those. I think I was a little bit iffy on specifically these. It might just be a skill issue on my part, but like, I don't know, it feels like going from right to left in a foot switch is really prone, at least to me, for like held misses. As opposed to like less movement heavy stuff like over here. Like if these were downs, for example, instead of the left arrow. And I think like if that was the only change, it might be a little better, but either way I think a lot of movement's happening, which isn't like necessarily a bad thing. I think the ramp up can be good. Again, it might just be skill issue talking. So take that for what you will. I do want to say something good about the 180s. At least I think this is how all of them are going. In terms of like which way you're facing. Because I think they're all like, you're crossing over for them. Like right here, I do want to compliment this. Like, this is actually just, that's perfectly fine. Like, that's really fun. Hold on. Oh wait, no, okay. I'm stupid. You start with this. Okay. At least for that one, okay. Never mind. I guess the point is it feels comfy. Which I'm like really impressed by in terms of like how complex those kinds of crossovers can be. I think there was one in the beginning-ish as well. I'm trying to remember where exactly. I know I saw another 180 near the first half. It's like around here, I think. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass in terms of like crossovers versus cross-unders, because like I think for the next iteration, the up and down are switched. These ups and downs. So all I know is that like it felt good to do. But yeah, I definitely agree with the sentiment of over versus under, Because, like, one thing DDR loves to do is the full 1 to 8 staircase, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, basically just a stair on both sides, going from left to right. And when you do the pad transition, you're like this for like a split second. And, you know, that's a 180, more or less. These are just both feet backwards. But, like, the foot that's initially crossing over, or, you know, pad transitioning, is going over, which I think is fine because I think the common sentiment is that crossovers are generally more comfy than cross-unders. Because, like, if it was 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, 7, 6, 8, I don't like that. Because of what I just mentioned with the foot that's going to the other pad first, going under the other foot. Like that does not feel nearly as comfy as doing that. It might sound weird, and I don't know how to explain it, but like, that's just a thing that I've noticed with just any kind of crossover on single or double. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. This one's great. God, the stuff jumping here gets so spicy and I love it. It looks so, like, so much and so much movement, but like, it's so fun to do. Oh god, are we gonna start tech-notating cross-unders as XD now? Oh no. Is that a thing people started doing yet? I know. I think I've said all I think I could say on that. Alright, so we got 111 left. What are the robots by NAYOTO? They didn't specify, or not specify, they didn't want any feedback for this one, so I'm just going to play it through. And yeah, this is the last 11 before we get into the 12s, so good luck to me. was fun. That one part was felt like a difficulty spike. But whatever. It's like the same patterning as the triplets we're using, but it's 16th. Yeah, I don't think I said earlier after I finished not Yellow, but thanks a bunch, Tech, for submitting. Always appreciated. And to NAYOTO as well, thank you so much for submitting. And I hope to see y'all in the next submission period. And everyone else who submits, if you have time. Or rather, who submitted this round. You know what I mean. Okay. So, that does it for the 11s. Only getting harder from here.
Okay.
So first 12 alphabetically is Cyber-Kyoto. Halogen, I know you're here. Let's do some stretching real quick. Oh. Make sure my back is okay. Hey, LFK. Yeah, the chart's been awesome so far. I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream, but I'll do like a local recording for Encore and just like send it to you personally for feedback, if that's good with you. Just, you know, for fear of copyright shit. Just wanted to double check, make sure, and all that. Anyway, that's awesome. Okay, good to hear. Also, thanks for tuning in, and like to everyone for tuning in to this. Again, like I had no idea what the turnout would be for this. I'm really happy about like how much was submitted. Like I said, 18 charts for the first period was so much more than I was expecting. So, yeah, let's get to it. 5:45 probably okay, hopefully. Let's see. Okay. Help! I can't tell if, like, I can't tell if, like, there was a double step near the end, or I was just too tired to hit that thing properly. I want to double check on it. God. Yeah, the flam. Exactly that. Like, the steps around that and after that. I feel like I hit the flam right. It's just everything else after it. Was that before? I forget. Where was it? There for the 24th dice, okay. Is that it? No. That. Yeah, that. Okay, I think what I did was I treated this as a foot switch. I don't think it was supposed to be a foot switch. Or, like, not intended as one. That's what I did. Oh my god. I was not expecting, I don't think any of that. Hey Taro, you did not miss yours. I'm going in order of difficulty and then alphabetically within difficulty. Although I think yours is last, even though I think it's called Desperation. At least on the song wheel. It's really interesting, like, the 24s are confined to 2 columns each, right? But in between, that's when the movement happens. Okay, so what feedback did you want? Light, general? Oh my god, chance pump UCS would go so hard. I believe. The unfortunate thing is that we have to use step edit. Which, I think I tried one of the first mixes, or rather, I forget which was the first mix to utilize UCS. It might have been Fiesta EX, I want to say. Maybe one of the Fiestas. And I tried making a chart for it using their tool. I'm like, I hate this. I don't know which I dislike more, that or the K-Shoot Mania editor. It's just so cumbersome. Mostly because it's like very mouse-centric. And I don't know. We're all used to keyboard controls. So I think, well, first of all, I don't know if this is a 12. This is really hard. Maybe that's beside the point, but I think for these, these beginning, these are kick switches, right? Yeah. I think instead of utilizing the outermost note, you can instead change it to like, this will be up, that's fine. And then this could be, well, hold on. You'd have to change some other things about it. I was gonna say this could be a down, but that's a huge swing over from this turn. So, I'm just trying to think of if this can work. Like, this was the big thing that, like, it's doable, but holy shit, So, like, yeah. Okay, turn into this, and then kick switch out. I think what you can do to keep, like, the intensity the same, but, like, iterate differently, is, so, starting from here, it'd be the usual, right? Like, down, up, right, up. And then from there, I think you can get away with switching up and down here, and having a down here. So it would be down, up, right, up, kick switch, up, down, right, down, and then go back. That way you're not like doing the huge stretchy, but you're making it different. Because yeah, like I said, the right arrow, it's doable, but holy shit. Yeah, let me just like play it through again. Just that part. Like I'm sure you're seeing how like far down I have to go just to hit like that from the previous pattern, like yeah, like as I'm saying, I'm like, all right, this is entering my lexicon now. Feel free to use that as well, like, please do. What else? Just gonna watch through like the rest of it. I don't really know how much we're getting into like heavy / in-depth over light / general, but I did notice something else just now. Just as in terms of like a consistency thing, I guess. Right here, I think is the same sound that Flam uses at the end. Like da 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 da, ba 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 ba, like right on that up arrow. And then like there's no Flam there, whereas there is one here, and I think it's the same sound. That's just something I noticed just now. I don't know what I want to say about this whole, like, mind stretch part. Like, it's funny. I was hitting this down mine so much because of, like, how far back I was. I, like, not hitting the down column mines at this part with these stretches is just... I have tried being taller. It just makes my back hurt more. God. Oh man, don't even get me started on WeXDoc. I used to be able to do that. I, like, physically can't anymore. Like, I can reach it, but sustaining that and vibrating for that long, it, like, actually hurts. I used to be able to do it. And thinking back, it might retroactively be the only D24 I've light bar passed. I think I light bar passed it. Oh, man. You know what? That's fair. Let me just play through this again. Okay, that's just me being, I don't know, form lazy, I guess. I don't even know what to say to that part. Because, like, it goes with the, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what that instrument is called. The, like, whistle. I'm just glad, like, it slowly eases into it. With, like, the anchor. Like that. So that's good, at least. What side of that? Yeah, I don't know. It's not too much else. Maybe, like, the one 7-note 24th burst, maybe a little rough compared to everything else. Right here? I think that's the only one on the chart, actually. And, like, this could probably be, like, a 4-note burst plus a 16th afterward, because I think it's doing the same thing here. Like, the same kind of sound. It's kind of hard to, like, determine what exactly it's doing. It sounds a little bit slurred, but you get the idea. I don't know, I think that's probably all I can say about it. I can't think of much else. Yeah, as always, thanks a bunch for submitting. And hope to see you in future rounds. Okay, so... Okay. I'm gonna wait till the preview music's done on this. So there's no chart coded on that. The person who submitted this didn't want to be in the credits as well, so I'm just going to keep this one completely anonymous. And they also didn't want any feedback, so I'm just going to play this one through. There was a rock transition near the end. It was like way more than the rest of the chart did. But yeah, I enjoyed that one. Hey, retronika. Is it? I might have asked this before when you were in the chat. Is it like retronika or retronika? Or otherwise. Retronika. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Actually, speaking of, your chart is indeed next. So let's get it. This one's like on the longer side as well, 340. I did say that like I don't mind songs like on a non-rhythm game standard length, so very curious how this one's gonna go. Probably 5:45 is still good. We'll see. Thanks for good luck. Bracket taps right there. Not over. Just got a nice arrow list. Okay. Whew. Okay. Okay, so, let's see. So for feedback, like general, I think I do feel like there were more brackets than I thought there were. Like, let's see. I'm trying to figure out if these are brackets or not. So I think that's like the first thing I noticed is that following the parity, these sensor jumps end you up backwards. Which if you like keep it that way, like if you stay backwards, you like unbackwards yourself for the next one, because it's like I don't know if it was meant to like kind of switch into the center jump, like switch jump, switch jump. It works as like foot switch into jump. I don't know if that's just the intent. I think a lot of what I would want to say about the chart overall in terms of feedback is like it really depends on what the intent was, because like I could say wildly different things depending. Like I quickly learned that what is it? these are brackets. Like this whole thing was bracket taps. So I don't think it was meant for the only the right foot, the whole thing. And like just as well, like the end where it like pivots back and forth with brackets. That part was cool. This is hard. Okay, so yeah, those are brackets. I think they're. I'm trying to think of how I want to say, like, the main thing I think to watch out for is how the parity is coming out of bracket sections. I think that was the main thing I was noticing, because like coming out of the bracket here, like I'm doing this, and then kind of double stepping here with the down and the left. Left being like that long hold that I just had. So that's one thing that I noticed for I think all of those iterations. I think this is also brackets, probably. Like, I think I did it like this, but I don't think that was intended. I think the quarter note downs were supposed to be bracket taps, like that. And then, okay, so like, same thing here, but on the other side. And then again, like, you're kind of double stepping with the last down and then a right from the hold. Other than that, like, it definitely works out. Let's see. I think there was one run, like 16th run, that felt a little iffy. It might have been right before the big break. I'm trying to remember where it was. Let's see. Okay, right here. This is like a big thing I noticed. Like, the run's fine up until like this part. Because you're coming out of the left side, going like, you know, this is fine, and then you have to do this. Like, just this whole like transition over to here. It feels like kind of out of place with the rest of the run. Like it flows, like it resolves properly. It's just kind of hard to do in terms of the rest of the run, I guess. I think the only other thing really is just like pretty much what I said before in terms of just like making sure that the parity is okay coming in and out of the big bracket sections. Let's see. I'm just kind of coming through here. Like, this is all fine. This is all fine. Yeah, this whole part's fine. Let's see. Okay, this part I also noticed a little bit of. It all flows. It's just that some of the transitions to the brackets were a little bit jarring. Just in terms of how the rest of the chart flows. I think specifically this one. This one was pretty rough to do. Let me see. I guess the main thing is just like, for stuff like heavy and fast bracket stuff, momentum is like really important to keep in mind. But again, like, it all flows fine, I think. This might be like, hold on. This might be weird, like the 2 yellow downs. It's probably like unintended double step, because like you come from the right foot bracket up here, and then you have to do this. Oh yeah, okay. This was the only other thing. I think this is the last thing I wanted to talk about. Actually, this might... No, that's not the end of the chart. I thought that was the end of the chart. I think there's just like an unintended double step here, because the parity breaks with the bracketing. I think somewhere in here you might have to like double step a bracket. Oh, there's these, those aren't brackets, they're jumps, I guess. The ones in the middle. Or are you talking about, like, the thing from earlier, the yellow taps? Yeah, I was just saying, like... Okay. Yeah, I think I was just making a point that, like, it felt kind of weird to, like, go from a right bracket yeah, right foot, right side bracket, to having to do the down jacks still with the right foot. I think if they were up jacks instead, like they'll work just fine because you're already kind of on that column. And it flows better. Like that. But yeah, I think that's more or less what I wanted to talk about. Everything else past here, like this is actually pretty cute. I like this. Just like the pivot back and forth on the hold. It's hard to like keep it held, but it does work, I think. It's not just so hard to keep held. But yeah, this does flow fine. Anyway, I think that's everything I can think of, just in terms of feedback for that one. I need to check out that chart again. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I can imagine Pump pulling something like that really easily. Okay, so the next one, I actually played this a while back. I just don't think it was released at all at the time. Like I already have a score on it from forever ago. How old is the score actually? Kind of curious. Okay, it's like, well, I played it before that. I'm pretty sure. Maybe. I don't know. I guess it's at least a month old. Anyway, I'll play it again. Yeah, also, as always, want to say thanks a bunch for submitting the chart. I think you have another one in the works as well. Not in the works, like in the submissions. Anyway, I mean, I can play it again. I don't know if you want feedback on it. Was this not meant to be submitted? Or like, oh yeah, you submitted... Sorry. That's what you meant. You meant you submitted it to this. But like, Evan sent me it a while back, and you probably didn't know. Anyway, yeah, I'll play it again. It's been a while. Gorge. Okay, yeah, this one's great. Curious about getting feedback on heavy front switch, side switch usage and double. I think here, in this chart, it works really well. Like, I'm probably biased, but like, I love foot switches that aren't 16ths, just because it's skill issue. I'm so bad at not getting help misses. So it's pretty standard stuff, like, for the first part here. Like, not too much to say about it. Let's see. Just combing through, finding more foot switch, side switch stuff. Okay. I genuinely don't know what I can say about this chart, because like playing it through again and just watching the patterns with intent, like I just think it's done really, really well. Specifically just with all the foot switch, side switch stuff transitioning between pads, like it flowed really well. Yes, absolutely Greg out of 10. Like, man, I don't know what I can say. I'm trying to think of something, but I don't know. This chart's is really good. I hope that's good enough for late feedback. Okay, the one completely subjective thing I will say is that I'm not convinced it's a 12. That's the one thing. Actually, is the single original chart a 12? I forget. Okay, it's 11. Yeah, Taro, I think so. I think that this is an 11, but also I think that people probably shouldn't listen to my opinions on double ratings. So, you know. Anyway. Okay, I talked with him about this just to make sure. There is no chart card, but he said yes to wanting to be in the like stream credits. So this one's my brother Mojo. I did get the okay from him to say that. So let's take a look-see on this one. This looks like at 2 unbroken 15s, and they're like right next to each other. So I'm kind of curious if this does like any tech stuff. I'm not sure. I haven't seen this. %, held miss rate. Let's find out. Okay, I don't know if Zmod plays nice with double on this screen. Trying to figure out what exactly all the numbers mean. Why are there extra ones on the first 3 though? That's weird. No, not the first 3. Or the up and down on the left side. Is that supposed to be like which foot you were meant to hit it with? That's my guess, but I don't know what the red and blue numbers are. Okay, so maybe it isn't just me. And as far as having a lot of trouble hitting foot switches on SMX pads. Because when I played at Grumble earlier this year, It was on Ranker's pads, at least one of the sides, maybe both, I forget. But God, foot switches were so easy to hit in comparison. Like, I was not getting any held misses at all. And here I'm just like, can I like take a trip to your place so I can get better scores on foot switch charts? Okay, anyway, for feedback, he is requesting heavy and in-depth, so let me just go over real quick. First of all, this is probably a 13. Like, 2 15 measure back-to-back that are unbroken. And like, very, very foot switch heavy. At that speed, it's probably a 13. At least like, okay, if we're saying Gorgetech is a 12, is this also a 12? Maybe that's like the good comparison to make because I just played both of them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think this is a 12. Just in terms of, like, the stamina required, anyway. And, yeah, I think people were mentioning, like, playing it on SMX pad just makes it harder. God, in terms of feedback, I'm just trying to think of what I can say here. I'm just trying to like listen intently now to like all the sounds being accented and how they're being accented. There's a stretchy part in the second string that, like, initially it felt out of place, but I'm not sure. It's probably fine. Probably should come up here again. Yeah, okay. People cover the center panel. I guess it like depends on what you mean by covering the center panel, because I guess the way SMX pads work is that the center panel is usually like all the other panels in terms of what it comes with. It also just comes with like this metal cover. I guess that's what you're talking about. Like, I think it was advertised as like simulating 4-panel play. Actually, yeah, Chansey, you have an SMX pad as well. I don't know if you cover yours. You're probably like also as qualified, if not more, to talk about it. Let me just look through these runs one more time. So I think the build-up to like the runs is fine. Like all the accenting is really, what's the word? Consistent. So that's fine. I think I might be like taking a closer look at the second string, if nothing else. Okay, so yeah, the first string is like, it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, in terms of like how many foot switches there are per measure. I guess the other thing to look at maybe is just the facing direction. That's the other thing I would want to check out. I should probably play the string. It's hard to tell in terms of facing direction if it's like consistent and balanced. That's probably like the big thing to look for in terms of like heavy feedback. Like it all flows just fine. The heavy feedback probably comes in like the consistency of it all and like balance. Okay, so this goes from up to down. This goes from hold on, 2, 3. Okay, well this is fine because like it breaks the 1, 2, 3 rhythm. There's like 1, 2, 3 here, and then 1, 1 here in terms of foot switches. So that's whatever. That's understandable. Okay, so you're going from down to up. Down to up to down, and then up to up, but it breaks the 1, 2, 3 flow. So yeah, again, up to down, down to up. What I'm looking for is just like where the foot switch lands and where it's going to for the other side, if that makes sense. So yeah, up to down to up. I think that's like the consistency there. So like, yeah, down, up, down. So it does like the same, like kind of a, what is it? Like an infinity pattern, like a Mobius strip kind of thing. And then it reverses on the third iteration. Like here. And yeah, up, down, okay. So I think that's all fine. So this is the second run. This does quite a bit different things. There's something different, I think, after the first 8 measures. Let me just double check. I'm just looking mostly at the mines. That's where an easy indicator for where the foot switches are, and I'm just counting them from there. So yeah, 1, 2, and then the little like stretch blip noise. Just like a crab walk across. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1. Okay. So yeah, that's. Let me count the measures too. So this is where the run starts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is when the next iteration of that stretch blip starts. Crab walk to the other side. Yeah, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1. Alrighty. Hope the set. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, I'll make sure to get you the video later tonight. Let's see here. Yes, okay, so this is where things change up even more. Yeah, the last 4 measures kind of do its own thing. Or the last 8 measures, maybe? Here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so like starting here, measure 52. Okay, that blip is accented there, so that's good. The down crab walk. Is it accented there as well? Yeah, it is. It's both rights. That's fine. It kind of does do its own thing, it feels like. I'm not sure where, like, I'm trying to look for any kind of consistency or, like, theming for these last 4 measures. It's kind of hard to tell. But it's probably fine, like, in terms of just it doing its own thing. Because, like, it's just the end of the string, it's building up, it's being chaotic, it's doing whatever. That's pretty much the extent of what I could see. Like, I don't know, Mojo's charts always have been extremely solid to me, and, like, kind of just one of the pioneers of really hard double stuff, so, you know. I know he knows what he's doing, but I did what I could in terms of, like, going through the chart with, like, a fine-tooth comb. I hope that helps, maybe. I don't know if I, like, really gave suggestions in terms of what to change, but, like, I did go through everything, so. Alright, so the next, what's the next chart? Taro, if you are here, your chart is up next.
Okay.
Ugh. Also, honestly, that was kind of a good break to have. Just, like, talking about stuff and not playing for a little bit. really thought. To be fair, it wasn't necessarily a sight read. I was talking with TaroNuke the other day. I think some things were fixed. So what is this at half BPM, like 118, 117.5, something like that? I'm just trying to also think of it in terms of like 16th patterning equivalent. It is a lot of movement, yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, that's maybe one thing I was looking at. Like, everything flows, right? But I don't know if the first iteration of, like, the end of that verse is doing, like, the same stretchiness. Like, this goes really well with, like, what the song is doing. Like, it's big stretches and, like, backwards, but it's, like, slow, right? I don't know if, like, I don't know if it would be good to do the same thing in the first iteration, because it's, like, it's near the beginning of the song, so, like, I don't know if the build-up is deserved at that point, but also, like, it's the same kind of sound. Honestly, yeah, that's totally fair. What do those gallops do? Okay, it's basically the same thing. I think this is probably like one thing I was looking at. this up to this down, and like it does the same thing near the beginning as well. Like this down to this up, basically the other way around. That's like you're not utilizing both of the centers, which is fine. And like in the next part, both centers are being utilized, so like it's a lot easier because you're not going from like this to this, because it's just like kind of a, again, like a Mobius strip pattern, just like going like that. I also don't know if that was intentional or not, but it is consistent with when both of them happen. Let me see. Yeah, like here as well. Like there's that big movement, and then it lets up into like the figure eight. I mean, it's fine as is. Up to you, like if you feel like you want to change it. Other than that, like, yeah, it's really well made. Like, I know we talked about fixing up a couple things the other day, and like, yeah, I think those fixes made things a lot better. But yeah, as it is now, the chart's really fun. Like, the movement is really just consistent, solid. The double steps are really fun. I don't know if there's too much more to say. I enjoyed it. Okay, well, that does it for the 12s. Now it's time for the 13s. Also, hey Mojo, how's it going? I played your chart to Lumination just before Desperation. I know the VOD's not like available yet because copyright funny, it just automatically doesn't, it switches off the auto-published stuff, so you can't watch the VOD back while it's still in progress. But I'll publish it once it's done, and I'm doing a local recording anyway, so it's going to be on YouTube. Regardless. So... wondering if I can get the rest of the charts played with the amount of hydration I have remaining. Well, we'll find out. I wasn't sure if that was a thing you could like just switch back. Or like if you have too many VOD mutes, then it just like switches it off and you can't turn it back on, but I guess you just could turn it back on. Yeah, if I didn't say already, thanks a bunch to both Mojo and Taro for submitting stuff, and hope to see you in future rounds. So, next chart we have is Pollinosis. I wish this song was louder. I think it's just a matter of old Imani mastering. The chart comment kind of scares me. So yeah, we have 4 13s to go and then 1 14. Alright, let's see how this goes. is. Okay. This. Whoa. Okay. Oh. Well, Chance, good news. You're not the only 14 in this pack. Okay. Oh my god. I need to, yeah, there was one part that I failed, that I was just lost on. I need to, like, look back on that. I also think that I'm going to need to replenish my hydration. If this is what we're working with in the 13th. Yeah, I will say, thanks. Me too. I will say, the ending, like, down, center, down, or like up, center, up, that is a lot of movement. Like, a lot of movement to do. You have to go, like, from one down to the other in, what is this, 145? Yeah. In the span of a eighth note at 145. So it's like, like, I'm not gonna try and just, like, do the motion in isolation, because, like, that might actually hurt my back. But you know what I mean? Like, from this to this. Even if you, like, utilize your heel and your toe as best as you can, that's still a very, very, very wide distance. Actually, I should, let's see. Again, like, I'm wondering, this is another case of, like, I'm trying to figure out what the intent is so I can, like, properly talk about it. Because I think this works either way. Like, if you do this, I think I did that in, like, the second half of this whole part. I think that feels like what's intended given what the holds are doing. That motion actually was really fun. I really like that. And then I guess there's there's this part next. Let's see here. Okay, so I wasn't sure if I had to, like, cross over here like that, but it looks like that was right. Because, yeah, you go like da 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 da. That little 16th person is kind of rough going into the next part. Yeah, the up to up or down to down movement is a lot. I think this also holds true for some movements and patterning in double, as much as it does hold true in like tech in single, where the harder the tech is to do properly, the easier it is to cheat, and vice versa. There's like an inverse correlation there, because like this pattern right here, like up to up, like I was saying before, this motion, just I think that's the big thing I just want to put out there, is like the utilizing both ups with 1 foot in the span of an 1/8 foot is very, very, very fast. In isolation, these might be fine because it's just 3 16th notes, but the end where you have to go back and forth, I think that is just like objectively too much. At least at 145. Yeah, let's see. I keep like wanting to just treat those as hold anchors, but I don't think they are. Oh, excuse me. It's kind of funny too, like the so it goes away from the like double down or double up, and that's what this whole phrase starts with, right? And like goes away from that into other patterning, which I think is way easier. Like those crossovers. So I think like the iteration's kind of going a little backwards in terms of the difficulty. Yeah, these brackets are all fine. Okay, this is the part that like made me explode. I'm just wondering like what is going on here. Okay, I think I see it. Every time there's a hold, that's a kick switch. And every time, so yeah, every time there's a hold plus mine, there's a kick switch. Every time there's just a mine, that's a foot switch. I think that's what's going on. That is so much to parse. So let me try to hit it again. I don't know if I'm doing it at 1.0x rate. We're slowing this down. It's so hard to follow, even on 8, or 0.8. I'm loving the idea. It's just really hard. Let's see how 0.9 feels. same. Now let's bring in some new stuff to the table. For sure. I think my problem is being unable to hit the center brackets coming out of each one. What is this actually? So I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a foot switch here or not. If it is, then it resolves properly, it looks like. Wait, no, hold on. Okay, I'll just... Okay, if it's not a foot switch, then it works. It's fine, that's fine. Let me just play the whole triplet section by itself. You know what's funny too? Like, I feel like this first half with the like up and back and down and back is harder than the second half because like you're maintaining your momentum. That's the big thing. If you need to reverse your momentum at that wide of a pattern, it is extremely hard. But if you're like thrusting yourself over and then staying there, that's easier. So that's why I think like, can I highlight? Yeah. That's why I think this is easier than this. Again, like, so it all flows. Again, to quote me from like an hour or two ago, it works, but holy shit. That also, I think, flows just fine. I hope my back's gonna be okay for this one. Yeah, that works, but holy shit. Anyway, God. I think that's about all I can say for that chart. I probably like dove really deeply into heavy, in-depth feedback, but I don't know. I'm still just trying to... This is my first stream doing this kind of thing, so we're all just kind of winging it. I really do respect the ambition of this chart, though. Like, Jesus. Like, yeah, valgrind, if you're in the chat, I want you to try and write more hard stuff, given, like, the feedback I was providing. Because, like, There are some really cool ideas in this chart. I really like the discrepancy, by the way, because the map shows you this, of total uptime of the session, over 3 hours, and total time spent in song, which is under 40 minutes. Anyway, oh shit, I think I forgot to play journaling. That was actually... Yeah, I forgot to play this one. Shit. Whoops. That's fine. So 3 more charts left to play on stream. This, Vulcan, and then Revelation. Okay. See, this one's by Sapphron. He didn't want feedback for this one, so I'm just gonna kind of vibe with it, see where it takes me. Expecting like the amount of turning in the last verse, but it worked. Ooh. Oh yeah, drinking a money score 99. I wasn't even paying attention to the money score. Thanks. Okay. Vulcan is next. I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm excited for Zelo's run, for sure. For those of you who don't know, Zelo is at, I don't know if he's there now, but he's gonna have a run on Friday night, like 7 p.m. Central Time, of Pumping Up Phoenix. I think it's just gonna be live. I'm not sure, actually. I forget if they, because I know like last year or so, they had a Waka cab there. So I don't know actually if it's remote or not. I forgot if I asked him about that. But yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch regardless, for sure. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. Oh god. Okay. I think I ran out of stamina after this. Sorry. I'm still watching, like, I'm following along. Okay. I think the final nail in the coffin for the pass, for me anyway, on that attempt, was a very specific set of bracket drills. So like I was fine for pretty much all of it leading up to where I failed. So I guess like this mostly applies to single as well, but just doing up or down after a left-right jump coming out of that is it's ambiguous. I think I guessed right both times, but like yeah, there's like no hold to have the player intuit which foot they should use for the next note after the jump. They're kind of left to guess. I did guess correct both times that I had to like face left, so that, and then again over here, again facing left. But like, if I started with my right foot on either iteration, no, sorry, if I started facing right, rather, on either iteration, then I would have to double step, like, and then over there. The thing that, like, I was not able to hit at all, and where I more or less failed, this part was funny, because, like, I was just kind of dragging my one foot over, which, like, I just made that pattern way too hard for myself. That was a me thing. Let's see. Okay. So, this is what I wanted to talk about. This first set of brackets. It's fine. This is fine. I can drill like that. That's whatever. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Whoa, excuse me. This next set gets very weird, because I think what's happening, I can probably describe this correct, like in some good terminology. Like, the way the brackets are set up, both feet are perpendicular to each other. Like, this foot is over here, angled like this, and this foot is either like this or this. Either way, it is very uncomfortable. And the same goes if you want to, like, I don't even know if going like this would be better. I don't think it is. But yeah, like, either way, your right foot is facing this or this. It's hard. It's very hard to, like, actually hit both for the whole bracket drill. I think I was talking about this earlier in terms of brackets being easier if they face away from the center. Like, this is fine, this is fine, this is harder, this is harder. You know, the same goes for, like, the other side. Up left is fine, down right is fine. Down left is kind of hard. Up right is kind of hard. And if you combine, I think if one of them was facing outward, it would be okay. Like, if it was this, it would be more manageable. Or if it was like this, it would be more manageable. But the fact that both of them are inward, that's really hard and, like, just uncomfortable. Like, I just couldn't get the weight shifting down. I'm kind of curious if Pump has that in mind when they do, like, big bracket drills. I don't know if I paid too much attention to stuff like that when watching Pump charts. Yeah, again, this one's fine. This one's pretty comfortable. Yeah, this one's a little iffy, but not like the worst. The next one down is good because they're like, well, I guess like that's the other thing about the center, because like you're kind of facing your foot one way, right? I think with what is it? How do I explain this as well as I can? Like, if you're doing a center bracket, I think the most comfortable way to do it is being able to bracket with whatever foot you're doing it with, pointed towards the same pad as like your body's foot. If that makes any sense at all, like I'm doing the center bracket with my left foot and it's facing towards the left pad. And then the same thing with, I'm doing the center bracket with my right foot's facing the right pad. It kind of ties in again to the whole like, you know, brackets on double are way more comfortable if they're facing outward. Or like rather if your feet are facing outward for them. So you start with the left foot and then switching back and forth. I guess, okay, so, yeah, these ones start with the right foot twice, then left foot twice, right foot twice. So it's like right, left. And then I guess it mirrors like left, right. Yeah, I didn't think about that, actually. I wasn't paying too much attention to how it starts and ends. Yeah, that's a good thing to talk about as well. This is, okay, like all the 16 patterning, like this is kind of tough, but it's manageable. It's not like a huge difficulties, like it's something unorthodox, but it's fine. This is kind of the same thing. I think it's just that like I wasn't expecting it more so. It is consistent though, like, I don't know if maybe switching down and up here would be better, since like, you kind of have to bump your foot out of the way, like that. It's harder like as a cross-under transition, because you're going the opposite way now with the same 4 columns. And then like, if you're doing it like up to down, right to left, it's kind of the same thing, mirrored from this. Again, I think just like this all flows. It's just really hard. I'm just taking a look through and skimming now. These brackets are okay. Let's just play this part. Yeah, again, the runs all flow, it's fine. There's one big turn here. Like, you have to whip yourself over like that. That's like the big, kind of out of place turn. But other than that, I think this run is fine. Start of 97. Oh, you know what? Shit, I think you're right, actually. I somehow missed that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I was just like tunnel visioning on the up center up. Yeah, that is a good catch. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, let's do this actually. So I can make yeah. Right at the end of the where you're facing right and going back, that's like when you're going to more or less have to double step, like right here-ish. See, that's why I want people to talk about stuff in chat. Because y'all can talk about stuff that I miss. This isn't like the worst, even though, like I said before, inward facing is hard. But I think this is like the best case scenario probably for it. If both feet are going to be, facing inward. I think that's more or less it. Probably just like all that I wanted to cover. Yeah, so I think with that, we have one chart left to play on stream. Thanks for the advanced apology. Alright, yeah. So, here goes nothing, I guess. Yeah, I thought I said the question part. I don't know what I'm in for. Already terrified. I'm just so tired right now. Sorry I couldn't make it through. But I'd love to go through this together. That's over, rather. I feel like I've been a little out of practice lately. I don't know, I've played like one set before, like in the past week. And even that felt like I was kind of rusty. Okay. Chance remixes chance. Thanks, me too. I don't know why that happens. Yeah, I just wish my legs didn't feel like cinder blocks right now. At least in terms of just faster stuff. Like, I'm fine with slow stam right now, but... yeah. Anyway, yeah, let's just go through stuff together real quick. Okay, that actually is fine. Yeah, because let's switch. Yeah, that's fine. I'm assuming that that's a bracket. So I think that whole like run was fine, as far as I could tell. Okay. I think I'm just getting tripped up by like all the stuff that's in like Chematech single. Funnily enough, like those kinds of patterns that are like now being thrown into a double setting. Because looking back at this, it felt like I was getting tripped up a lot, but or like I was, rather, on my first play. But it does flow. It does. That is a very wide bracket. So what's coming up? Let's see. I think I did that wrong. Let's see here. Oh, actually, what was that? I'm not sure if this was like intended as a foot switch, like these two. Oh, a side switch, okay. I think it, I mean, technically it does work. Let's see. Let's compress that a little bit. Okay, so I think the one thing I do want to say after like looking through the whole chart closely is that it does all flow. Like, this actually does work. If you're willing to do, like, side switch from here. Now, let me just put it at full speed. It's like it works. I think the general thing I want to say about like how the chart feels overall is probably the same thing I was saying earlier about Vulcan, where the inward brackets are like a lot more taxing to do. And I think there's like way more inward brackets, if not like an overwhelming majority that are inward facing. Like I've seen a lot of down right and down left, like these center brackets, a lot more than I did like any other kind of brackets. I guess also the thing that I want to say, like counter to, you know, inward brackets are uncomfy. If you are on one side of the pad, like as if you were playing single, it is considerably comfier and I think more like more justified, and like you can get away with that more. Like if you're doing, I think it just depends on like how much you're stretching and twisting overall. Like if your body needs to cover most of the pad, like both sides rather, and it's twisting your foot like inward, then that's going to be uncomfortable. But if your body is over here, that's way less stressful, which is why like this bracket here, even though it's an inward facing bracket on double, this is fine. Like this is whatever, because your whole body's over here already, and like it's not too strenuous. Yeah, that's I think that's like just a big thing I want us to talk about. You know, just the how the bracketing is like placed and everything. Actually, does this? Okay, yeah, those are fun 180s. Let me you know what? I'm gonna give this one more shot. Now that I've seen it. I'm just too gassed right now. Never mind. It is kind of over 3.5 hours in to a set, even though I haven't been playing much. Technically. Like does a full 180 during a burst. Oh, okay. So I can check right now. Okay, it's like a... It's not quite a 180, but it's like a big turn. But yeah, like I said before, after combing through it, as far as I could tell, there weren't any like unintended double steps or like stuff that clearly wasn't intended in like what it was trying to go for. So that's really good. Yeah, I think just the only other thing is just the brackets that I mentioned, and like how facing outward, facing inward kind of works in that sense, and like how strenuous certain patterns are, and like I think now that like I played everything except for Encore, which I'll get to after the stream's over. I just want to say, first of all, thanks a ton to everyone that submitted. And I am more than happy to just be everyone's guinea pig for double chart testing. This is what this whole event is for, to try and get people into, you know, making stuff that they usually don't. And I'm really happy about the turnout, and just hoping to see more of that in the future. That said, let me do something real quick before I end stream. So, yeah, I'll just plug this again. There's the info doc, there's the Discord server. Yeah, I can take a look at that double spectrum pack. I don't know how much I'm gonna play, but yeah, let me just do one thing real quick. Now that I've played everyone's files, again, you know, except for one, which I'll get to. Where is it? Share. I hope this link works. Oh, if it's okay. If it's 55 songs, I might like do it off stream then, if that's okay. Anyway, yeah, so this is what I wanted to plug real quick. Second submission form is live and ready to go, so have at it. This was a ton of fun.